Hello, this is a Super Anime Turbo review, and today we're taking the Super Anime Turbo review of Haruhi Suzumiya Volume 20, the last volume, and also Triage-x Volume 8. So this is a Super Anime Turbo review. So I went to pick up these two new books in December 2014, like a week ago. So I went to pick up these two new books, Haruhi Suzumiya Volume 20, the last volume, and also Triage-x Volume 8. So first we're going to talk about is Triage-x Volume 8 by the guy who created High School of the Dead. So you have this beautiful artwork in the front, the side, and even of course in the back, which is kind of sexy and looks so very hentai-ish. So after the Volume 7, when she was being controlled by the by one of the guys that put a drug on her. So you have the lovely one right here, which is, you could just see it right here. This is so lovely right here. So Triage-8 is about when, after she was possessed by this one, she was revealed about her past long ago, that she was one of the best of the black labels of a swordswoman. So he was minding his own business. That was her dad back then, one with the blue hair. One with her with the blue hair. And then they were all dead. Then he was killed by one of the guys in the mask. And then she decided to attack this person. And then she realized that there was a girl. And she says, "Daddy?" She was trying to surprise her. They go into... Then she decided to hunt her down, and so is him and his friends. After trying to foundation have this conversation about it, trying to convince her to snap out of it. And then he says, "Even so, I trust Haruhi's son." This is one of my favorites right here. After the attacking and the slashing, trying to snap her out, they decided to go downstairs and figure out how to stop her inside this huge garden. So they said they have the backup plan. So they have all three of them have a plan to kill her or capture her or knock the senses out of her. He decided to have one-on-one with her, a one-on-one battle. So he decided to knock his senses out of her. She was trying to kill him, and he's trying to tell him that, oh my god, this is one of my favorites of all time, of Triage-x of all time. And then, after that, the glass shatters right down there. And then he saw the visions and told him to take off his mask. After talking to him all this time to stop her, the only way you have to stop her is to tell him to, the mask, take off her mask. And then he did. He'd take off her mask. But she still wants to attack him, if you know what I mean. Then after all the battle's movements, he decided to pull out the shield of mirror. And he looks at her like, oh no. And he remembers her in the past. That she was, been in the hospital. And then she says that, and she says, it's not. If is, then the second, I am scared. Sorry, my camera is always shaking because of my hands. And also, anyway, until then, they decide to talk things out about her past and everything. Then she remembers him, and then they decide to kiss him and says, "Akira-san!" Until then, they were kissing. This is one of my funniest parts. It says, I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Yeah, post on Twitter. And then, all that suddenly, she was like shocked that she was kissing her. This is one of my favorites of all time of Triage-x history. Then they became friends again. Meanwhile, she says to him that, "You're a pervert." that she still loves him. I liked one of my funniest parts. After this ones were settled. Meanwhile, they were hatching a plan to kidnap the policewoman that she was working with, the old man, that's his name. And I forgot her name, that she was part of the plans of the Cottison clan, you know, the Yakuzas. I forgot her name. She was one of the best voices. This is one of my favorites as well. After talking things about kidnapping her, the police monitors and all that stuff, then just always has the ending. The skull guy was from before, from the docks. Then she decided to go sleep. They were hatching a plan to kidnap her. Once once combat comes to our world. She was having this dream about when he was having two women that, you know, like, watch her son. Then after that, she was raped by tentacles. This is one of my favorites. Then she woke up, all that. Meanwhile, at school, they decided to spend some time with him and got injured and all that stuff. This is one of my favorites of Triangle 8's history. So if you really enjoy Triangle 8, make sure you enjoy it all the time. Let's check out one of my favorite parts. My favorite parts is the, let's see, if I could just find one, the kissing scene. The mirror scene is one of my favorites. And even, of course, my favorites is, let's see, the kissing scene. And even, of course, the kissing lip scene is one of my favorites. And also one of my favorite parts, if I could just find one, the one with the whip, one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite parts as well. I really do love this part. And also, the tentacle part, if I could just find one. This is one of my favorite parts here. If you really enjoyed Triangle X Volume 8, you really should read this a lot, which is one of my favorites. Up next is Haruhi Suzumiya, the last volume, Volume 20 of Haruhi Suzumiya series. So this is one of my favorites of all the Haruhi Suzumiya series. Have this one in the front, the side, and even in the back. Now this is the last volume. I read the whole entire volume of Volume 20. Then she was like, you know, I was reading the whole parts of all the books. I read the whole thing. Miku Asahina finds out that she doesn't have a younger brother, and then he decided to talk of things all of a sudden. Then he decided to order him to destroy Haruhi. He ordered her to destroy Haruhi, and then she decided that she went completely berserk and insane. And then she said Haruhi, then he grabbed him. He grabbed Haruhi, if I could just find one. He grabbed Haruhi from the window and said, Haruhi, wake up. Then he saved Haruhi all of a sudden, and down there, all that stuff just happening to anything. And like that. Then he landed on the college of Haruhi Suzumiya. Then Kyon waked up and said, like, oh, ow. And he says, what's wrong, Kyon? Haruhi? Huh? Then he realized that Haruhi was in college clothes. This is one of my favorites of all time. I really do enjoy the Haruhi Suzumiya Volume 20 a lot of all times. And then he landed on Haruhi Suzumiya's bedroom, which is one of my favorites. This is one of the favorite parts of all time of Haruhi Suzumiya. And Haruhi, and then Kyon was looking down there and looked at Koizumi, Mikuru, and also Mugi Nagato. They went downstairs. So Haruhi decided to give it him as a present, and he said now he doesn't need it. And also all of the presents like there. And she said stupid. She is so blushed. So I really do enjoy the Haruhi Suzumiya Volume 20. at the ending part, she decide to, to become friends and all that stuff. I really do enjoy this book. You must read it. This is the last volume. Oh, one of my favorite parts. My favorite parts is this one. And also my favorite part is this. And even of course, if I could just find one. This one is one of my favorite parts as well. And even of course, let's see. If I could just find one. This one. And of course, I could just find one. And also this one is one of my favorite parts as well about this book. And of course, if I could just find one, this one, and the Haruhi Suzumiya, the older one, and this one as well. And this one, and this one. And also this one as well. So, if you really enjoyed these 2 new books of Haruhi Suzumiya, enjoy these 2 new books of Triage-x Volume 8 and the last volume of Haruhi Suzumiya. So this is Steve Johnson, I'm signing out in peace. And tomorrow is the new video game of Guilty Gear Cross 3rd, the standard edition for the PS3 to the PS4. And also next week is the limited edition for the PS3 and PS4 on December 23rd. And tomorrow is the standard edition for the Guilty Gear Cross 3rd for the PS3 to PS4. And also today is the updated of the Ultra Street Fighter 4 Omega. I'm gonna play it through the whole day. So this is Steve Johnson, and I'm signing out in peace. Please stay out of trouble, and also stay in school. And next week is Christmas.